Just get back from a run, man.
No, this is my toga. This is my senatorial uniform.
Is this why you fucking were taking extra time, man?
No, definitely not. This is why I was working on my Maximus impression.
All right, let's hear
Check
it.
it. Are you not like entertained?
1, 2, 3, 4. These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that pops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners.
Yum, yum.
Oscar Wieners.
Welcome to Oscar Wieners, the only show on the internet where Hollywood's biggest knight fights a tiger and then kills the emperor.
Several tigers, several emperors.
Those tigers were real.
Really?
Yeah, I knew there were real tigers in some shots, but those tigers were actually fucking.
Oh, you're not messing around?
No, that Russell Crowe was almost slashed by a tiger while filming.
I'd be more concerned about the tiger. I feel like PETA should have been all over that, right?
Look, I don't know.
Was there no tigers harmed?
Maybe. I didn't stick around for that part. I don't know who. I don't know how you hire a tiger wrangler, but I guess they exist.
I don't think they need. Well, first of all, tigers don't need wranglers anymore. They're kind of going. They just represent themselves nowadays, pro bono. It's pretty pretty noble beast.
Yeah, that's really good that they've come into their own finally.
Yeah, they've really earned their stripes in that regard. Thank you.
This is a show where every week we talk about a random Best Picture winner and try to figure out if it is Best Picture worthy. I'm your host,
Come on.
Ridley Scott.
Oh, and I'm your co-host, Gerard Butler. As always.
Oh shit! Did you watch 300?
Huh? No, I watched it once.
I'm your host, Ridley Scott. You said you're Gerard Butler. My name's actually Michael.
Wow, okay. Pretty star-studded episode. You can call me Ander.
And this week we're talking about 2001 Best Picture winner Gladiator, directed by Ridley Scott.
Nice. He did it.
Starring Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, Connie Nielsen, Oliver Reed, who died in the middle of filming. He plays Proximo. Proximo died. The actor died in the middle of filming.
Wow, is that cool or not cool?
The fact that the movie holds together is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy that I think
his character even has like an arc, and he died.
You know the part where he says those giraffes are too gay? Yeah. I like to think that was his last line, maybe his last words.
That was actually just something he felt. So
yeah, that was off script, off book for sure. Yeah.
Also stars Richard Harris, fucking Derek Jacobi,
Jacuzzi.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Jaimin
Hansu, who's like everywhere. I feel like he plays Juba. I think that's his character's name.
Yeah.
But he's all over the place, been like Guardians of the Galaxy. And basically, this movie is about Russell Crowe, who plays a character named Maximus, who, after a very long campaign, just across the world as Rome spreads their empire, the final battle is over. He's like, okay, now I can just go back home. But Marcus Aurelius, the reigning emperor, played by Richard Harris, who is dying, he
Old as
instead of leaving
dirt.
his empire to Joaquin Phoenix's son, there's a character named Commodus. He instead leaves it to Maximus, and because he thinks Maximus is like a way more virtuous, better leader, and he thinks he
Which
can,
he is.
can snuff out the corruption in Rome and restore it to its glory.
Yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix has a problem with that. So he has Russell Crowe. He tries to have him killed. Russell Crowe escapes. He rides home, but turns out his wife and son have been killed.
Yikes.
Russell
Not
Crowe
good.
is taken as a slave to fight in the gladiatorial battles. And
Sucks.
eventually, Russell Crowe is like, wait, we can take this thing all the way to Rome, and I could potentially kill Commodus and get revenge. Maybe I have a purpose after all. Wow,
Let's give that
I
a
feel
shot.
good.
This summer.
This summer, Russell Crowe has a thorn in his side.
And his name is the
Killed
Joker.
my wife.
You killed my wife. God, that's
Um,
the poor man just wants to farm. That's like his whole character is like he's this awesome general / soldier / fighter. All of his men respect him, and he's like, boys, after this, we just get to farm, and that's gonna be tight. And that's all he wants, just to be on his farm with his wife and boy. And guess what he gets? You guessed it. He gets
Yeah.
the hook.
Joaquin throws some hissy fits in this movie. He's such an
Yeah.
incel ass. He's like, my sister won't have sex with me, which sucks.
He's pissed about. He's so pissed that his sister won't have sex with him, which
Yeah,
is
nobody
crazy.
respects me. My dad didn't love me. It's like, well, maybe because you're a little shit. Okay, maybe
Because
take a
you
look in
suck
the mirror.
ass.
Yeah.
He's like, he has that whole scene where he's like, I have virtues too, father. I'm ambitious. I comb my hair every day. It's like, dude,
I
what
smell
are you?
good mostly.
I take baths sometimes to often.
So after Joaquin throws a hissy fit, he kills his father. He like suffocates him. In a hug,
In a
which
weird-
is,
in a
like,
weird
poetic.
way. Yeah.
Poetic though.
But it was like fake poet. Like, I don't know. He just it was like just too over the top. He hugged the man to death.
Andrew, what did you think of this movie?
Right from the jump, I was like, 9/11 hasn't happened yet. And I think that's going to impact this movie ultimately. And it did.
This movie only could have come out pre 9/11.
Yeah, and I
'Cause,
don't
like-
know why or how, but I also feel that way deeply. Once it started, I was like, all right, this is solid. This is what's up. I think I'm going to really like this. Very blue. It's a very blue film.
Very steely.
Yeah, not like in the metaphor. It's like the color is blue, which I was like, okay, that's a choice. Riddler. Can I call him Riddler?
Yeah, Riddler Scott.
Riddler Scott. Yeah, that's his full name. Riddler Scott made this movie pretty blue, which, was a choice. I wouldn't have gone with that choice, but it was the 2000s, things were going crazy. A lot of and then my second thought was, am I going to need a history course refresher? I got a dial, but luckily I got a 3 on the AP World History, so I was pretty set.
What are those tests out of 4?
I think it's out of 5.
What an so you did average.
I did. I passed. I did solid.
That's such a weird grading system. Yeah, this one's out of 5. It's like just
Okay.
give me a letter grade or do it out of 100. Like, why are we
Okay.
complicating this?
I mean, we typically rate films out of 5, so care to recant that statement?
I'm gonna fucking challenge you to a gladiatorial fight.
Bring it.
You've made me look like a fool on this podcast for the last time.
Duel me to the death.
So you like this movie to start? You were like
To
would you
start.
say free? So, because this movie, I didn't expect it to take so long for him to become a gladiator. Like, it's like 45 minutes
Yeah, it was
before
long.
he's taken as a slave and then like put into the gladiator fights.
Yeah, I think, and I was trying to think, because like if you're a movie that's coming in at 2 hours 45, my first thought is, okay, where can we trim some fat here? And there, I ultimately there's stuff that I wouldn't cut. Like there are scenes that are character moments that I think add to at least Maximus's character, where he's like sitting and praying for his wife and child, and he's got the little statuettes of them. Like that was nice. It wasn't necessary, but it was nice. But ultimately, it was too long. I actually found myself getting quickly invested in the drama of it, and finding the action scenes a little bit weak sauce. I was like, this is not as good as I thought it was. My only experience with this movie was in like history classes where it would be nearly summertime and they would wheel in the TV set and be like, let's watch 30 minutes of Gladiator. So I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I remember really liking it and thinking I should watch the whole movie. Never did until now, and then I was like,
Yeah, so this is like a classic dad movie. This is a movie where like it would just be on TNT, and my dad would be like, "You ever see this? You got to see this." He's like, "First 15 minutes, such a good battle. It's so good."
Yes, that's exactly right, and I think it was really good. But I don't know why it would win an Oscar. Like, this is one of those movies where, like, you watch it on a Saturday or Sunday, and it's like, oh, I would watch Gladiator. But I don't know why this would win an Oscar. I didn't think anything about it was particularly exceptional.
It reminds me of a little film called Forrest Gump.
No, it does not.
Just in terms of, like, it's like a fine entertainment, but then, like, once you, like, strap
Actually,
this is the best picture of the year. The production of this movie, in my quick Wikipedia scanning, was very troubled. The script wasn't finished when they started filming. Russell Crowe was pissed.
As he should be. The script wasn't done.
But what's crazy is the movie is very coherent, and like all the arcs, all the conflicts, all the character stuff like develops and crescendos, and like I think that's all really impressive for them just kind of writing it on the day.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Especially when you have tigers waiting to do some shit. It's like, hey, John Logan, screenwriter, can you like finish up that page? We have tigers to film.
That's such a good point, because I feel like it's so overlooked, or at least I overlook it. Like, how long do they have those tigers? What's the logistics of having tigers on set? Because they had plenty. They had giraffes and elephants and all this shit. Like,
yeah.
How do they wrangle? Like, do they just have them on a day's notice? Like, oh yeah, let's get the tigers in here today. Today's Tiger Day. Let's go, big day.
Yeah, especially if you don't have a script. It's like we don't know really what we're shooting today.
We know we're gonna have tigers. We just don't know where they're gonna be or what they're gonna say or do.
Ridley Scott, like at the end of like one day, he's like, "I think tigers tomorrow. Can we do that?" It's like the producer's like, "I guess we'll figure it out."
What's the schedule like for tomorrow? We got a clean slate tomorrow. Let's shoehorn in tigers.
Yeah, so like I'm really impressed by that. I think the movie, like you said, I got really involved with like the drama of it.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good there's the conflict between Commodus and the Senate, the conflict between Commodus and what's her name? Lucilla. And everybody, but like his sister Lucilla.
Yeah. Commodus like trying to like weirdly be like a father to is it Lucilla?
Lucius. His mom's the mom / sister's name is Lucilla, and then the son's name is Lucius.
Right. Like he's trying to be a father to this kid, but meanwhile he's his uncle, but like he also kind of like uses him as threatens him to get uses him as leverage to get at Lucilla because she helps Maximus. It's pretty interesting. Like I liked the web of interconnecting drama. Do you like Maximus's character?
Do I like him?
Yeah.
He's just like good hero guy, right? Like he's just like
I didn't have a problem with that.
He's neither did I. But like
he's just trying to get back to the farm.
I'm not giving him enough credit, because honestly at the end when he, is dying and he's having visions of going back to the farm, I thought it was actually kind of moving. I'm like, he fucking finally made it back, this son of a bitch. Thank God.
That's all he wanted. Like I like a character with just a simple, he has one ask. He's like, I just want to be back at the farm, and nobody wants to fulfill it. And he's like, all right, now I'm going to make everybody pay because I'm a badass guy.
Yeah.
I did have a problem with, he's portrayed as this like hero throughout the movie, has like these really, really powerful hero moments where, you know, he acts unselfishly. Like, you can see he's a good leader. Like, the movie does a good job of showing that he's a good leader rather than just like explaining he's a good leader. But then his ultimate plan is to just like run away and try to get to his army while like all his friends die. I feel like that was so uncharacteristic of him, and that bothered me.
You know, I didn't think about it that way, but yeah, I think you're right. I didn't. I don't
Like,
even know
for
what I have to
what?
say
Like,
about that.
he
I think
just
you're right
wants
because
to,
yeah,
just so he
all
can
the other
escape to his farm. Like,
right, all the other gladiators will die trying to hold off the guards while he goes away for who knows how long to get 5,000 other men.
just to
Um,
become like Emperor of Rome, which is something that he doesn't want, just so he could give it back and then just be on a farm. Like, I don't know. Like, I get that that's
well,
his whole gambit, but all
I
your
didn't
friends are
really,
dead now, dude.
I didn't really know what his game plan was in terms of like. So say this all goes successfully, and you give,
Which it will.
technically you become emperor, you give it back to the Senate. What?
It will. It'll be. I trust him. I haven't finished the movie, by the way.
Oh, shit.
I got 15 minutes left, but like, go ahead. I think it's
Um,
gonna wrap up well.
oh, uh, but because I feel like the whole movie he kind of had like post finding his family dead, he's like he kind of has like a death wish. He's sort of given up. He's only driven really by revenge,
Yeah.
but then also eventually by like the mission that Marcus gave to him, which is like restore Rome to its greatness. Uh, but like, what's he gonna do after he gives it back to the Senate? Just like chill out? Like
Yeah. He just
maybe he'll
is
shack
just
up
gonna.
with Lucilla, who like have like a old romance.
I didn't like them. Yeah, maybe I didn't like them together because like his wife like just died tragically, and the movie was just like, actually, he's interested in this new chick now that he had an old thing with. And I was like, okay, let's not. I'm glad that they didn't like fully seal the deal there, but
They just have like one little kiss.
yeah, like they didn't round home plate. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing. While I was watching, I was like, the human race is the worst race. Like
Yeah.
thousands of years ago, we were like,
Well,
what if we all just got in a
koalas.
goddamn what if we all just went in a coliseum and watched people kill each other and cheered? We cheered kill, kill, kill. I don't know
That
if
is
that's
insane.
historically accurate, but it's like probably.
You think they would bring the Colosseum back? Like, you think at some point in human history in the future, the Colosseum will return or something similar, like Bloodsport? I think Bloodsport's due for a comeback.
I mean, Suzanne Collins would think so. You know, she wrote The Hunger Games. That's sort of like
Right.
gladiator shit.
That could happen.
Do you think Lucius is Maximus's son?
Oh, didn't even think about that. Nah.
I was getting that subtext, but I was like, I kind of like that the movie didn't really address it. It was just sort of like at the camp when Lucilla is talking to Max. It's right after Maximus gets the news from Marcus
Mhm.
that he wants him to be emperor. Lucilla is she mentions that her son is 8 years old, and Maximus is like, "Oh, my son's 8 years old," and they're sort of like, "Did we? Is that...
Did we switch sons?
No, I just think it's like, did we bang like right before I met my wife, and then we banged?
That's a stretch. That's a lot of extrapolation.
Well,
that
you know
gotta-
what? Well, you know what?
What?
So they've been trying to make a sequel to this movie for decades, ever since
So
the movie
weird.
came out.
Yeah.
And a sequel script they had, this is what I read on Wikipedia,
Okay.
was that it takes place, it's set like 15 or 20 years after the first movie. It follows Lucius, older now as the emperor, I think, and he finds out that Maximus is his daddy.
I stand corrected.
So egg on your face.
Wow.
You have
But I
a whole
don't-
ass Denver on.
Want to take that again?
You have a whole ass Milwaukee omelet on your face.
That stings. You know that stings. And we didn't even watch the sting. I think it's pretty vile and vicious of you to just have that information on deck and then set me up for the roast. I think that's pretty messed up. Because you know you did that, right?
I didn't realize that, but I sort of manipulated that situation.
And I do appreciate it. I appreciate the hell out of you.
Yeah, I've been reading The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. Has a lot of good ideas in it.
The ending of this movie is not what I thought it was. I thought, what's the movie where they joust? That's the biggest problem of this movie, is that there was no joust scene. What movie do they joust?
A
Where they,
Knight's
like,
Tale with Heath Ledger?
is that the one where like they're about to joust and then his opponent is corrupt and he like they're using like a fake spear tip, but he uses a real spear tip? What is that movie?
Shit, I know what you're talking about.
Is
I
that
don't.
Brad Pitt? Is that him?
Where? Is he behind me?
Behind you. Oh my God, it's Pitt. It's Fight Club himself.
Fucking Tyler Durden, man.
Could you imagine seeing Brad Pitt on the street and be like, "Oh shit, you're Fight Club." Holy shit.
That would be so good. That would fucking tear him down a notch. God
Holy
knows he
shit,
needs
you're
it. He's too
Babylon.
hot for
Yeah.
how old he is. He needs to be taken down a peg.
By a twerp like you or I.
Oh, you're fucking Fight Club. 7.
Holy shit, dude. Respect. Daps.
fucking button ass.
Button ass. Hey,
I'm not
it's
used
that
to-
button ass.
I'm not used to seeing you so adult, because you were a little baby guy.
You know, remember that movie with fucking Baby?
I want Vinny from the bodega who's like eating, just like cramming a slice of pizza in his mouth to be
Oh,
like,
yeah,
fucking
oh!
Pitt. Fucking button ass.
Hey, it's Buttons. Hey, yo, Buttons. You're looking as old as you were in that movie, I'll tell you what. The whole fight scene at the end, it's a fight between two guys
Nerds.
over like who's gonna be the emperor, and there were like empty seats in the Colosseum. Like, why wouldn't you pack that thing to the gills? That's crazy to me. Imagine the presidential election was like, yeah, these two guys are gonna fight to see who becomes president. Everyone would watch that.
Yeah. What I found funny is so everyone's like obsessed with Maximus, like as he's fighting in the Gladiator fights and like
Yeah.
winning. He's like the fucking people's hero.
Love him.
And then when he kills Joaquin, spoilers, it's just dead silence. People are just like, oh, it's like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we have a new emperor. Well, actually, what does happen? I don't remember this. I guess I would have if I got a higher than a 3 on the AP, but like what happens after this? The Senate takes over?
So right before he dies, he says to Quintus, this guy who was serving beside him in the opening battle, but then who later betrays him once Joaquin takes over.
Right, but then double betrays.
Yeah, because he doesn't give Joaquin a sword.
Yeah, it's like this movie could have been a lot shorter if you just
if you just like
saw that this was bad in the beginning. So
Russell Crowe, Maximus tells Quintus, free the slaves, free Gracchus, who is like the senator that is conspiring with Maximus to reclaim the Senate or give power back to the Senate from Commodus.
Right.
And then he's like, I think he says like put the power of Rome back in the hands of the Senate. Peace. Then he falls back.
Peace.
Is the Senate like as good as fucking Crow? Crow is like politically neutral throughout this whole thing, and he's like he's sort of investing so much faith in the Senate, and I'm like, isn't it full of like corrupt asses? Like Gracchus is like fine, I guess, but is he even fine? He doesn't. Really
I don't think so.
I'm like,
he just doesn't want Commodus
suck.
to be the emperor. He just likes Maximus because he knows that he's gonna grant the emperorship back to the Senate,
right?
Or the power back to the Senate. Like that's the only reason why he even. I guess he respects Maximus, but whatever. No,
the ending
if
is
you
like...
turn the next page in the history book, I guarantee you the next page is like, and the Senate basically fucked everything up, and everybody was corrupt and taking bribes or whatever, and fucking the whole Roman Empire dissolved. I mean, it dissolved not too long after this, right?
Is that true? I don't really know.
I think so. Maybe not. I think it's Well, I guess when I say not too long after is like probably like a few hundred years still to go.
Right.
Don't quote me on that.
I wish they had put like a really Italian guy in charge who was like eating a plate of spaghetti.
That'd be insane. Why would they do that?
Because it's Rome.
Okay, but Rome is not technically like Italy. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Rome is not like they're not. I don't know. How Italian is Rome? Like in a modern sense. Like, are they eating pasta? Do they got pizzas? When was pizza invented? I have a lot of questions about
I
this
think
movie.
pizza wasn't pizza invented in the United States, or am I making that shit up?
I think you're making that shit up. I think maybe pizza in an American form was invented in the United States.
Okay, this is like based on one thing I heard on a podcast once, but like, you know,
This is gonna be
Italy's
good.
signature food, like noodles come from like Asia. And I think
Okay.
tomatoes came from the United States. Anyway, like once
Tomatoes. That can't be.
once international trade started happening, then Italians sort of developed their signature foods. Basically, what I'm
Okay.
saying is Italy, and I'm Italian, I could say this, has
Dangerous.
no skin in the game.
What? What do you mean? In what game?
Monica, cut this out. Um,
In the food game?
just in the
game of
historical,
cuisine?
they're just like, you know, like at least Americans like invented cheeseburgers, man.
I don't think we did. Probably
And then
not. It's probably traced back to Hungary or whatever. 'Cause
Canada
they were
has
pretty hungry.
Canada has poutine. That's fucking sick.
Okay, well poutine is just okay. Well, did they invent gravy? Like this is your logic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they did. Did they invent the French fry? I doubt it.
Freedom fry. Obviously, freedom fry.
Right. Excuse me. Sorry. The freedom fry.
The plan at the end where like Maximus is gonna escape. The one thing I want to say about that is I love how like it quickly fails.
So fast.
Everything goes to shit, and I'm like,
yeah,
I
instantly.
like that though because like, you know, the typical movie that like is not subverting any expectations. It's like he goes and gets the guys, and it's like a huge battle, and then like fucking Maximus and Commodus fight on like the steps of like the fucking Senate or whatever, and it's
Well,
like
I like
epic.
that Commodus was a smart villain. Like if he was incompetent, he would have been so insufferable because they made him insufferable. Like he's whiny and annoying.
Yeah,
But he was a smart guy. Like he knew how to be conniving and conspire against people and foil someone's conspiracy against him.
it's true.
I guess he could have killed Maximus way earlier in the movie, but
He didn't want him to
there
become
were
a
reasons.
martyr.
Right, there were reasons why he didn't. That made sense, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked his character. I mean, I hated his character, but like I liked to hate his character.
Yeah, he was a good villain. He was a good
Yeah,
villain.
he was a good villain.
That's true. He was smarter than just being a little incel ass.
Yeah.
Um, Hans Zimmer did the score for this movie.
Hans.
I think probably all of the movies we cover in this podcast were scored by fucking Hans Zimmer.
It's
The
probably gonna be
dude.
Hans or Williams, right?
Yeah.
Those are the ones.
He did it with somebody else though. Oh my God, there's so many credits on Letterboxd.
somebody who plays the harp.
Yeah. It was Hans Zimmer and Lisa Gerard were the two
Shout out.
composers on the movie. That's what's correct. So, but I just like the main like battle theme of this movie where it's like dun 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 dun. Dun. It's like it sounds very Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, you know what?
And I wrote down I was
Did
like Hans Zimmer doing a trial run for his pirate scores.
did he do Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's so funny. Yeah, it was a little bit piratesy-esque, but at the time that wouldn't have been an issue. Like no one would have
No.
thought that.
No. If anything, the Pirates movies, people are like, this sounds like Gladiator.
I like the music. I thought it was at
Yeah.
least like thematically appropriate and all that stuff. I wasn't like I can't envision myself listening to the Gladiator soundtrack and being like, "Damn," you know what I mean?
Really?
You can?
It's gonna become my jogging music for sure.
Windows down, bumping that harp.
Yeah. No, I thought it was good too. I mean, Hans Zimmer, you know, he I feel like you hated the Rain Man score, but he usually
So bad.
he usually slams that ball in the hoop.
Yeah. I really like Hans Zimmer. I think his score is usually exceptional, but I think it's also probably pretty hard to come up with a unique and impactful score for dozens of movies, right?
Right,
That are
yeah.
very different from each other.
Totally.
So maybe hire different people. I don't know. I'm available.
True. Andrew knows how to do music.
I can beatbox.
Okay.
This is for Toy Story 3. I think that'd be pretty
That's
solid.
that's Lotso's last ride.
Yeah, Lotso's last ride.
Hug and bear.
Yeah. That'd be pretty good. We're working on it. The sound effects were bad. The music was, I thought, good. The sound effects were really bad. They were like
how?
straight up, like if you still have it available, I would go back and just like watch some of the fight scenes and just like pay attention to the sound effects. It was like 1960s Batman punching somebody. It was like so goofy.
There's
It was
also,
like,
I know what you mean, because there's like this group of kids like giggling that I've heard in a million movies. It's like, and it's like a bunch of group of kids.
that was a dolphin, but okay, I do get what you're saying.
Really.
Yeah, it was spot on dolphin, by the way.
Anyway, I just wanted to, a sequel for this movie is like about to go into production, directed by Ridley Scott, starring Paul Mescal as Lucius.
He's the son, the not the son, but the nephew slash Lucille's son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking Denzel Washington's in it. Pedro Pascal's in it. It has a stacked cast. I think some of the people from the original movie are returning. But so I talked a little bit about sequels. I want to tell you about one sequel in particular that it's gonna blow your fucking mind. All right.
Okay, we'll see.
You know, The Boatman's Call, that Nick Cave album?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's this going?
Nick Cave
Okay.
of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds wrote a sequel script to Gladiator.
Okay. Now
Now
I'm hooked.
Nick Cave, I'm going to read this strictly.
Hold on, let me adjust my toga.
Yeah, just your toga. I'm going to read this from Wikipedia.
Okay.
But this is like a famous fucking insane script. Nick Cave was commissioned to write a new draft of the script, which he wrote under the working title of Christ Killer.
Great.
The writer, Nick Cave, described the plot as a deities versus deity versus humanity story, where the premise involved Maximus being resurrected as an immortal, eternal warrior for the Roman gods after living in purgatory since his death.
Okay.
The story would follow Maximus, who is sent to
So he
Earth
didn't go to he didn't go to heaven / Elysium / farmland.
That's already a problem with this idea.
Okay.
The story would follow Maximus, who is sent to Earth and tasked with stopping the momentum of Christianity by killing Jesus Christ and his disciples,
Whoa.
as their movement was gradually siphoning off the pagan power and vitality. During this mission, Maximus is tricked into murdering his own son and cursed to live forever, fighting amongst the Crusades, World War II, and the Vietnam War.
Wait, what?
The ending would reveal that.
Wait, what?
The ending would reveal that in modern day, the character now works at the Pentagon.
What character? Wait, you went. That was like a 0 to 1,000. Like what? Why are we in modern day?
He kills his son. He's tricked into killing his son, and then he's cursed to live forever. So Maximus just fights in the Crusades. He fights in World War II, the Vietnam War, and then in modern day, it ends with him working at the Pentagon. A totally normal idea for a movie.
How is that not getting made right now? So it's God, like Christianity's God versus like Zeus, but not like Jupiter or what, like the Roman gods versus
Roman gods
humans?
are like, you got to kill this Jesus guy. He's really kind of taken some of our punch.
That's so cool. How is that
insane.
not getting made right now? Also, I like that he kept the same thread of, oh yeah, Lucius is Maximus' son, by the way.
Right.
Like he also agreed that was the case.
Right.
Yeah, how is that not getting made right now? I would take that movie. Put the cast of the actual sequel into this film and let's get it done.
I'm sure you could find the script online somewhere. I'm sure it's around.
Oh, I would love to do a table read.
Yeah. I hope there's a line where he says, "I am Maximus, Christ killer."
I would like that line to be in every movie ever made.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo,
Hell
I
yeah.
am Maximus, Christ killer. Is it a full script?
I think
finished
so.
it. He
I think
finished
so.
it, at least a finished draft.
I'm pretty sure he wrote the end at the end of a draft.
God, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's crazy.
I like that this sequel ends with Maximus just living forever, as opposed to, like, never kill your main character, right? That's just I don't know. That's just something that I believe in. I think it's lame that Maximus died. Like, he didn't get to see the results of any of his actions or learn from anything or evolve in any way. It's just like he's dead. That sucks, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, credits. Like, nah, let him live forever and just
Work at the
we'll see how we
Pentagon.
live forever, evolve forever. I think that's kind of rad.
I love the idea. Like, so it just says he works at the Pentagon. What if he's like an intern? It's like Maximus getting people coffee and like making copies.
Maximus is like a Roman general to crusader.
Who is the modern day
yeah.
warrior?
World
The
War II
intern.
general, and then all of a sudden intern. He's like, all right, I still got lifetimes to go. Like, I'll just wait this one out and just be an intern for a bit. Learn what's going on, get the nuclear codes or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it should
That's
go
what I
into the
want.
future. That's the only thing that's missing.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Like, I want to see a future. He should go into Star Wars. That would be awesome.
What if Maximus is just like our eternal cinematic hero? He's just in every fucking movie.
Like, that's just established. It's like how they had roles like in the Renaissance era, like the Commedia dell'arte or whatever.
Right.
Like, they had like set roles for people. Like, Maximus is just like, he's the hero that exists forever throughout time, and he's always Russell Crowe. That's paradise to me. That's Elysium in my eyes. Fantastic. Like, imagine
All right.
Fast and the Furious, but it's Crow instead of Vin.
Yeah,
That's the ultimate.
Imagine a Pope's exorcist, but it's Vin instead of Crow.
Yes, absolutely. That would be
Pope's
fantastic.
Exorcism, whatever the fuck that movie is.
Yeah.
Should I list off the Best Picture nominees?
Yeah, I do
Final
want to.
thought?
I do want to suss out. I've given all my thoughts. I want to suss
Okay.
out though if this is like really a worthy of Best Picture. I mean,
Okay.
I probably haven't seen any of their nominees, but
I've only
like
seen
5
one of the
movies.
other nominees.
Okay.
So, Gladiator wins Best Picture.
Congrats.
Other nominees include Chocolat,
What? One more time.
Chocolat,
Okay. Chocolate.
starring Johnny Depp.
Okay.
Chocolat,
Okay. Of future Pirates of the Caribbean fame.
and future court case fame.
Yeah.
So this I think. All right, I'll just say it. Next nominee is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, directed by Ang Lee.
Whoa! I don't know if I've seen it. I remember seeing the video at like Hollywood Video or Blockbuster. Like, I remember seeing it. I remember it being popular in the.
Fucking rips.
Okay.
So this is actually what there's two crazy things I'll say.
Okay.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon actually won Best International Film that
Okay.
year. Best Foreign Language Film.
Okay.
It won for Taiwan. But it was also nominated for Best Picture. It would have been crazy if it took both home. Other two nominees. We have Erin Brockovich, starring Julia Roberts, directed by Steven Soderbergh, and Traffic, starring Benicio del Toro, fucking
Guillermo del Toro.
Michael Douglas, Guillermo del Toro. Just a bunch of people are in that movie. Also directed by Steven Soderbergh. Steven Soderbergh had
What?
2 Best Picture nominees in the same year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for. I mean.
And you
good
know
for
what
him.
sucks?
I've never seen those
He had
movies,
a
but
2 out of 5 chance of winning. He still lost.
it's gonna happen. I mean, like, he still had the odds were still against him. Like, Vegas still wouldn't have I mean, he was more likely than any other director to take it home. But did he win? Was he nominated for best direct?
That's a good question. Then, like, if he was, what movie did they choose?
Can they choose two? Oh, I guess not, because he can't. You can't be
He was
nominated
nominated
twice.
Oh my god.
He was?
He was nominated twice and he won for Traffic.
Whoa! He got nominated 2 times.
I would love to see that broadcast because, like, they say his name twice and it just, like, cuts to him again.
That'd be so good.
Like, it's like Traffic, Steven Soderbergh, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Ong Lee.
Like,
it cuts to a shot of Ong Lee. Aaron Brockovich, Steven Soderbergh cuts back to him.
That's so good. He's doing it just a different face.
Yeah. He's like,
That's such a flex that he fucking did that.
Well, he's, like, famously, like, incredibly prolific.
Which, maybe let's just as a country, as a world view, let's just dial back, right? Like, make it next year, you got time. Like,
quality over quantity.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're probably both quality, but I guess if you can do both, do it. But I think everyone's trying to chase that combination of quality and quantity, but let's just go for quality. Let's just everybody relax. Let's focus on our mental health. Steven Soderbergh, are you okay? Are you good? Because if so, fine, carry on. But if not, let's maybe dial back a little bit. Go to the Bahamas for a bit. You made a great movie. Congrats. Let's take a vacation.
Yeah. Ander, do you think Gladiator is Best Picture worthy?
Not really. I don't. I think it was I really liked it. I thought it was good. But nothing about it stood out to me as this is the best movie of a given time period. Like, it's supposed to be indicative of, like, honestly, I don't really like period pieces as best pictures. I think it should be something that's indicative of a certain time period. I think, like, that's a bonus. I mean, if you want to make a historical whatever, like, fine. But I don't know. I like the idea of it being a bit of a time capsule. Like, this is what 2000 was like. I think if you can do that, I think that's bonus to you. I don't think this did that. I think it shined in a lot of ways, and I think it was ultimately a lackluster in quite a few ways as well. It wasn't a perfect film. I don't know if there is such a thing as a perfect anything, but what? Give me that look.
Jaws.
E.T. E.T.?
Yeah, I mean, E.T. is the perfect film.
Who won Best Picture that year?
Huh?
Who won Best Picture that year?
82?
It's like Gremlins? That was the
know.
Gremlins year?
I don't know. So it would have been the 83 Oscars. I don't know. I don't think it was I think Chariots of Fire was 84. Anyway, I don't know. We'll get to it because I think E.T. was nominated.
Whoa.
I think it was.
Phone home.
Yeah, I basically agree with you. I don't necessarily think it's Best Picture worthy, even though it's, like, incredibly well made. It's like, for how troubled the production sounded, it's like, I think it's really well constructed. The performances are all good.
Probably not, I don't know a lot about his discography, so his body of work, so to speak. But yeah, like, probably not his best movie.
No,
guess.
He's made.
He did Alien, right?
He did. So if you want to talk about perfect movies, Alien is a perfect movie.
There you go.
And Blade Runner, directed
Blade Runner, right?
Perfect movie. He's made a zillion movies though. Like, fucking Black Hawk Down is, like, an incredible movie. Anyway, but yeah, he's Ridley. He directed The Martian with Matt Damon. I'm gonna science the shit out of this.
Riddler, pretty good.
Yeah, he's out there. He's like fucking 80 years old, still making like 1 million movies a year.
Good for him. I respect it. Keep on trucking. You do good stuff.
Keep on trucking. I would recommend Gladiator 2. I think it's like really
Gladiator
enjoyable.
as well, or Gladiator 2, the sequel?
Gladiator 2. This one, yeah.
Oh, like you would recommend.
It.
Okay, but you would recommend the future Gladiator 2.
I think Gladiator 2 is gonna be everything we wanted Gladiator to be.
I want to see the Nick Cave version. I don't really want to. Once I've heard that, I don't really have much interest in it. I don't think this movie really needs a sequel.
I agree.
I think people are gonna see Gladiator 2's announcement and be like, "Who?"
I wonder if they call it Gladiator 2. There's no way, right? They're gonna call it like Lucius colon fucking Emperor's son or whatever.
Nah, I don't like that either. Just do, you know what? It's Gladiator 2. Just call it Gladiator 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're making freaking Fast and Furious 4, just call it Fast and Furious. Don't call it like the rise of fucking
Skywalker.
Yeah, don't call Fast and Furious 4 the rise of Skywalker. Okay, I've made that mistake on message boards, and I have gotten booted for it. Gotten shadow banned. I've gotten regular banned.
You were kicked out of that Turkish bathhouse for saying
I
shit
was,
like that.
yeah. That's where I was before this. Actually, that's why I'm wearing this. Would you like to hear what some of the people had to say? Do you want to know the truth about Gladiator?
Yeah, give me that real shit.
All right. Let me just pull it up. I'm a little bit disorganized today. I don't have them in one neat file today. I'm just kind of
Shooting from the hip.
Yeah, I'm just shooting from the hip today.
I wish when you said I feel a bit disorganized today, like I just heard you knock over like a million soda cans.
I mean, I do have
oh,
are you
up, right?
okay? What's the name of an irate person?
Fucking
Actually, scratch that. Give me the name of someone who's really joyful. How about joy?
Megan.
Okay.
Megan.
Megan. Okay. This review's from Megan.
Megan Megan. Sorry.
Okay. Megan Megan says this movie sucks. Especially Joaquin. Especially Joaquin Phoenix. Fuck all of you. Fuck this movie. Wow. Megan. Wow. This one's by real name Infinite Salami, which I respect. The hero epic isn't really my thing. No texture to the protagonists. Russell Crowe doesn't make me feel anything. Joaquin, on the other hand, total sexy freak in this. Great performance. He was the key through getting me through the movie. Same ending as Beau is Afraid. Coincidence? I haven't seen that yet, so I do take offense to that. That probably is a spoiler.
I mean, maybe. I don't know that it's the same.
Okay. 3 stars, Joaquin Phoenix, so hot as Commodus. Oh, you know I love a whiny little bitch boy emperor. So that's fair. That's honestly fair. 3. This one's actually my favorite. I like it. I like that it's a 3-star review, so like fair, but sounds like he hated it. Genuinely needed Subway Surfers gameplay next to the screen to keep me alert during this film. Besides the gore and violence, there's not much to this. I know it's cinematographic, and Hans Zimmer did the score, but I wouldn't know who would call this their favorite movie, which is fair. Although I think I kind of do know who would call it their favorite movie.
So those are other reviews.
Oh yeah,
cool. Next week, I feel like we've been covering too many stinkers. Let's keep up our pace of covering.
This wasn't a
movies that
stinker.
No, I know. I'm saying this one is good.
Okay. You want to ride the wave of this? You want to watch another?
Bit.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Let's keep people interested.
Okay.
Next week we'll be talking about 1955 Best Picture winner On the Waterfront, starring Marlon Brando. Probably one of maybe his most. I mean, besides The Godfather, maybe his most famous role. A very famous movie that I have never seen.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Sounds refreshing.
Yeah, it's about like corrupt dock workers and shit.
Oh, actually, it sounds a little boring, but okay.
Marlon Brando is absolutely himbo in it, though.
All right, I'm back in. You reeled me back in.
These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that bops. Oscar bait, black and white, maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar wieners, Oscar wieners, Oscar wieners. These boys are the Oscar wieners.
That sucked. We have to record that, man.
Okay, yeah.
Are you free tomorrow?
Yeah, actually, can we re-record the Lord of the Rings episode? There was some
Yeah,
shit
that
in that. I was like,
sucked.
oh.